Hi. Today, I just want to talk a little bit about how you can live in Southeast Asia. There are many options. When you come to Southeast Asia, you want to live here or stay here for um, 1 to 6 months or something. You want to rent a place to live. Um, Now, there are many options in Southeast Asia, and we're gonna start with one. The first one is the cheapest one. So you see, this is a what we have here today is a room. It's called that's just a room. So it's you can see it contains a bed, a closet, and a bathroom. That's it. That's a room in Southeast Asia. I've seen this in Thailand and Vietnam, and that is a room. And many Thai people and many Vietnamese people, they actually live like this. This is normal. So and they are quite cheap. So in Ho Chi Minh City, if you want a new, nice looking one like this one, you're looking at like around 5 million. But some rooms could be bigger, more square meter, and then it could go up to like 8 million. So that is a little in the central areas and new and nice and fancy. Now, if you choose something like an older room, then it's cheaper. And also if you go like a little out of the city, like in the suburbs. I made this video about Ho Chi Minh and all these districts. And if you go out to like, let's say, District 12, Go Vap, Hoc Mon, you get these rooms and older and outside. And you could potentially get down to I don't know if 2 million, but at least 3 million a month for a room out there. So then you're looking at not new and fancy like this. It's going to be older. Some rooms only have cold water when they're old. That's the rooms. And then we're going to look at the next one. The next one is actually what they call a studio. It's slightly bigger, and it has a tiny kitchenette or something. I wouldn't call it a full kitchen because it's not. It's like very tiny, but you can cook something and stuff. So that's a studio. That's the basic difference between the room and the studio. That the studio is a little bigger, and also it have this kitchen or kitchenette. So we're gonna look at that in the next now. So here we have the studio. And you can see the bed here, the sofa, the bathroom, TV, fridge, and a washing machine, and a small kitchenette. You see it very tiny. It have a sink, one maybe two cook plates, that's it, and a washing machine and a microwave. So in the room you didn't have that. So you can see it's slightly bigger, a couple of square meter, and it have this kitchenette, and that's suddenly then a studio. That's slightly more expensive. Again, it depends on if you're like in the city center, then a more expensive than if you're out in the suburbs. A new fancy one compared to an old one is also higher in price. So you need to look at that. But yeah, you can live pretty cheap in Southeast Asia if you live in a room or if you live in a studio. Next we're going to look at is an apartment. So we're going to look at that. So this is an apartment, as you can see. And this one has, I don't know how many bedrooms, kitchen, bathrooms. And you get those like, what should I say? You get apartments. In Ho Chi Minh, it's a little, it's very strange with these apartments. You have, the cheapest one are social apartments. They are only for Vietnamese people. So any foreigner, if you rent in a social apartment, you break the law. The police have taken some. They just kick them out straight away. and the owners of the apartment get a hefty fine. It's totally illegal to rent a social apartment in Vietnam. Now, the next level is, so you have this social apartment is the cheapest. The next one is called affordable apartment. Some of these apartments they would have a swimming pool, and the older ones they will not have a swimming pool. They do not have facilities because it is a rather cheap apartment. Uh, then after affordable, you have mid-range. The most mid-range apartments have a swimming pool. They don't have many facilities other than that swimming pool. Maybe a barbecue, maybe a sauna, and that's about it. And then after mid-range, you have high-end. High-end is a little higher quality in the building, in the apartment. They have the swimming pool. They could have one or two extra facilities, or maybe not. So that is a little up and down. And then you have the after high end, it's luxury apartments. So a luxury apartment is you have the quality, of course. It needs to be high enough quality. You need enough elevators in the building. You need a swimming pool. You need facilities, and you need a location, a good location in a high end area. So all these things need to be present to have a luxury apartment building. And then you have the super luxury. And the super luxury apartment, the difference there is very easy. While in a luxury building, you might have Bosch or Heffele, cook plate, oven, stuff like that. In a super luxury, that would be Miele or Kuchenbuffer or something. I don't remember the name. A German brand, similar to Miele, so very expensive, lasting 20 years and so on. So they are both are German and German quality. So you have higher, more expensive cook plate of stove and sink and maybe bathtub and maybe and a shower. So you have it's a higher standard than a luxury. You have facilities, but what I see with the super luxury apartments is one thing that is very expensive, and that is they have a ton of elevators. Like if a building have, let's say, 95 apartments, then they have three elevators and two staircases. Three elevators, that mean there is like 31 units for each apartment. That is a very, very safe building. And so anything from, like, I would say 25 to 50 units per elevator is considered more like super luxury apartments. Now after that, up to 90 is luxury and high end, and yeah, if you have less elevators than 90 per 90 units, if you have less than 90 units per elevator, you actually live, and you live in a high rise building, you actually live in a dangerous building. So I wouldn't go there at all. And it also the quality of the elevators. You need like 2-person elevators and 1 cargo elevator. They need to be wide and tall, so you can get a gurney in there and with no problems and so on. So these are the differences between the apartments. This is more like a standard apartment, and yeah, that's how it is. So they you can rent those, and those are cheaper than like so affordable and standard apartment is slightly affordable than the mid-range and high-end, but it's quite cheaper than the luxury and super luxury. It's a lot cheaper than that. So that's it. Now we're going to look at a luxury apartment, and then we're going to look at the super luxury after that. So here we see the luxury apartment building, and you see this one is more, what should I say, more new, more fresh, and it have the quality and the view and so on. So yes, more expensive, of course. You live more comfortable, and you have the space, and yeah, a luxury apartment. So that is of course more expensive. So we now you can see what you can rent in Southeast Asia. So you have like an apartment, so they could be either affordable, mid-range, or high-end, and different areas, and they don't have all the facilities. Um, I forgot to say, but the luxury and the super luxury apartments, they are, at least here in Vietnam, they have facilities, but they are not stacked. It's not like, oh yeah, here we have 50 facilities in this building, and the reason for that is they build quality, right? So every facility is of quality, and it's for the residents living in that apartment building. Number two is the residents, the people live here. We like I do. We live here. We don't have time to go and use those facilities all the time, every day. We have cinema. I've been there one time. We have a cinema room. We have a karaoke room, two actually karaoke rooms. I never been in one of them. I'm not a singing person, so I never been there. We have a game room with a ping pong table and football table. We've been there a couple of times. We have a VIP lounge. I never used it. We have a community room with a big kitchen. You can have some party there, birthday party, family party, whatsoever. We never used it. So we have these facilities, but like I say, we don't use it much. We have a gym. I use the gym a little, go there sometimes. I use the pool, and I use the sauna. We have a steam room. I'm not very into that, so I don't use that much. And we use the barbecue. So that's about it. And the rest of the time we're actually busy. Kid in school, we work, and so on. We don't have time to use all these facilities. So they try, I see, to make facilities that people actually can use. They try to make them high quality instead of make quantity. So it's not about having the most facilities. It doesn't Facilities does not make the building a luxury building. Many facilities, but they are cheap facilities. And cheap facilities, that's not fun to use. So I would say it's better to have fewer or less facilities, but of higher quality, so you can really enjoy it while you use it. Um, Plus, you don't need 50 facilities, because it will just be empty most of the time, and that's just, it doesn't make any sense to build that many facilities and stuff, and it's just empty. People don't use it. So yeah, that's how that is. So that's how it is here in Vietnam. At least they build enough facilities and usable facilities, and from what I have seen, they build high quality facilities. So I had a salesman. I met some salesmen. They building a mid-range apartment. He said, this building is better than where you live, because we have more facilities. And I looked at all the brochures and so, and the facilities, yes, they are more, but they are cheaper, and I can see that the solutions are cheaper. The sofa in the cinemas and stuff are cheaper, not like we have with leather and so on. So it's all cheaper. They have a lot, but it doesn't matter when it's cheap, and it's going to break soon, and it's going to not look nice, and it's going to be used a lot, because it is a shitload more apartments, like almost 3,000 apartments. We only have like 400 apartments. So that too is a little like, if you live in a luxury building, you don't live in a place where you have 2-3,000 apartments. That's not very luxury. I'm gonna say it straight. If 3,000 people can afford to live in a few blocks, maybe 6 blocks, as they sometimes are, or 3 blocks, depends on how tall they are, and everybody can afford to live in a luxury or super luxury apartment, then it's something wrong. Super luxury and luxury are normally smaller buildings. They are I would say from 95 to 400 or 500 apartments maximum, because it is a little exclusive to live in a luxury apartment. They don't have it's 3,000 apartments, is 4,000 apartment. It's not luxury. It go without saying. So that's just how it is. So yeah, there are many things to it, and I prefer smaller. I prefer more exclusive. I prefer less facilities but higher quality. So yeah, but I've seen many now, and I have looked a little in Thailand. There, I looked at one building there. I think they had 50 plus something facilities, and it looked nice. But who the hell use that every day? What do you go to the cigar room every day? Do you go to the ice room every day? Do you go to the gym and the boxing ring every day and the yoga room? And then you have some, what should I say, influencer room or something like you can go there and they have the ring light and you can sit there and work and stream or make videos. No, most people actually do at their home. They have a room and they sit there and work. So a lot of these facilities were for show, I feel. It's not something people use. And of course, people rent Airbnb and stuff. They do it for fun. They test it 1 day or 2 day, and then, you know, when it's 50 plus and you stay there 3 days in Airbnb, you don't have time to try everything. So it's a little over the top, and it take a little of that luxury away from me. It's just like going to some like Disneyland or something. Oh, I want to try this, I want to do that, I want to do that, but nobody really use it, and it's just like a waste of money and more like a marketing, because people living there, I promise you, they do not have time to go there and use the bar, the sky bar, the ice room, the cigar room, the golf room, golf simulator room, the 3-4 swimming pools, and so on and so on. They don't have time. The gym, the yoga, they don't have time. People work. If people live in luxury, super luxury apartments, they actually work. They don't have time to use all these facilities. So you build enough and you build them high quality, so when people use it, they can actually enjoy it. So that is the luxury apartments here in Vietnam. Now we're going to look at a super luxury, brand new, about 1.5 year old building, brand new and super luxury. So we're going to look at that. All right, so this is the super luxury apartment. This is here in Ho Chi Minh. It's a very, very new building, and it's very high quality. So in the kitchen here they have kitchen buffet or miele, so they have higher quality than we have here in Sky 89. They have the swimming pool here. They are it's just over a bridge and you're in District 1, the center of the city. Yeah, I mean, they are this is a super luxury. They have nice furniture, expensive furniture. They have good view over the river into District 1 and the Ho Chi Minh skyline and so on. So it's a beautiful apartment, very very nice. This is super luxury, the prices and so on. Very high price. This is absolutely not for everyone. Honestly, even I'm from Europe, I cannot afford super luxury apartment in Asia, in Southeast Asia. Super luxury is very expensive. There is no problem to get apartment here for $1 or $2 million. And that's not the biggest ones. Just so that's that said, that's not the penthouse. But yeah, you can get a decent apartment, 120-30 square meter, maybe something like that, for about close to $2 million. So it's pricey. But you live nice, and you live almost in the middle of the center. You have very, very high quality. So that is the most expensive and the most luxurious. Even here, they don't have 50 plus facilities. They have enough, and they have high quality. everything in the building is high quality, and they have enough elevators. I don't remember exact, but I think they have around 60, 50, 60 units per elevator. So it's very safe building. And that too is something, when you look at that super luxury, the reason why they have so few units per elevator is so that you don't have to wait for the elevator. And also, if anything happen, a fire, earthquake, whatever, you can get to the elevator and get out fast. If the elevator stops, power shortage or something, you can also go down on like the staircases. So they build it safe. Safety is high, is very high in these buildings, and of course, because people that live here are rich. There is no other way to say it. And rich people work. They don't have time to stand around waiting for the elevator. That's how it is. So they build a lot of elevators. There are not many units per elevator. I didn't find one single photo like that covered the apartments. I found one like with many photos, and as you see here, they a few photos of the kitchen, bedrooms, and so on. So this is not the biggest apartment. Here is this is a smaller one. This kitchen is a little bigger, so it's not the same apartment. This one, these two seem to be the same. You see also the glass. They have a closet in the bedroom with glass and stuff. It's very, very nice, very high end. They have some bathrooms there with a double sink, bathtub. They have shower, they have toilet, they have everything in there. So this is super luxury, and they have very high quality. So that is more or less the apartments to rent in Southeast Asia now. I assume they have something similar in Hong Kong, in China, maybe even in Japan. I haven't been there, and also in Korea, South Korea. So I haven't been there, so I can't say for sure. But in Southeast Asia, this is a little like how it is. But there are two other things we need to look at, and that is a house. Many people come here and they simply just rent a house, and then there are some others coming. They have a job, and the job rent for them maybe a villa, not a house. So they go a little bigger, and we're going to look at that. We're going to look at a house, and we're going to look at a villa, because that you can also rent if you stay here for a little period. So you can rent a house or a villa as well. Now we looked at room, we looked at studio, we looked at apartment, we looked at luxury apartment, we looked at super luxury apartment, to give you an insight in what you can rent and so on. And of course the prices, like I say, they differ. This apartment that we look at right now is in District 2. It's just a bridge over to District 1. It's right with the bridge. You go out and basically you just are, you basically on the bridge basically. So this one is that prime location with the river, and basically in District 1 almost. You just go over a bridge. It's not that long bridge either. Maybe I don't know, 200 meters or something. So it's not far, and then you are in the city center. So that location in District 2 is brand new. It's super luxury, makes this building one of the most expensive apartment buildings in Ho Chi Minh City right now. It's a super building. I can't afford to buy here. Wish I could. It's a beautiful one. But I'm good where I am, so I have no complaints. But yeah, I mean, this is a beautiful building, beautiful view, beautiful location, great location, and this is in the Tu Tim area in District 2, or Tudok City as it's called now. So this is a great apartment, and it's really pricey. But again, it's really beautiful. So yeah, now we're going to look at a house, and then we're going to look at a villa. So this is a typical house in Ho Chi Minh City, and I guess in many other parts in Vietnam as well. So the house is a little slim, but tall. So in many places you have like one, two, three, four floors, and they usually have one going down. So if you have a car, you can like go down in the basement, and there's room for one car or motorbikes there. So that four floors, you have many bedrooms, and some choose to rent a house like that while they are in Southeast Asia. So these houses are slightly cheaper because this is a house and they do not have a swimming pool and so on. They don't have facilities like that. So it's a little cheaper, but you have a lot of space. And if you are many, like a party traveling and stuff, this is a very good option. Very nice, and this is a house. It depends on the area the house is in. Like District 7, District 2 are very expensive areas, but if you go to Hoc Mon, it's very cheap compared to here. So it depends where in the city, how central, how new the house is, how old it is, and so on, the furniture and so on. So there are many things to look at, and many different prices on the houses. But one thing I can say for sure, land, no matter where you are in the world, buying a house, the house is on the land, it's never cheap. So a house is not cheap, but this is a cheaper option or version compared to a villa. So we're going to look at a villa next and see a little difference. So yeah, then it's the last one we're going to look at today. This is a villa, and you see this is a bigger house than a house. It have a swimming pool, it has a garden, maybe a garage, and fence around. You have bigger space outside, so you have more your own garden area, swimming pool. It's a little more fancy, it's bigger, it's more expensive, and yeah, I'm gonna say straight, not everybody can afford a villa here in Ho Chi Minh City. They are quite pricey, and especially the new ones, they are not cheap. So an older villa is, or could be maybe cheaper, but it depends on the area and depends on the value of the land and a lot of stuff. So it's not easy with these prices here. I'm gonna say that. But at least a villa is very pricey and very expensive, and they usually build the villas in a little what should I say, high-end areas. You don't go to like in the middle of the field and build a villa. Normally not. Some have houses that look like villas, but they don't have the swimming pools, many of them, and stuff like that. So it's and of course they are cheaper. If you get out of the city, the land is cheaper, and it's cheaper to build a villa. So that's just how it is. If you are in the middle of the city and you have a villa and it's in a high-end area, they are pretty pricey. And that's how it is all over the world. So yeah, these villas are not cheap, but again, you can rent them and you can buy them, and they are not cheap. So these are the different types of accommodation you can live in here in Southeast Asia. So just gonna wrap it up. The cheapest one, and many Vietnamese and many Thai, actually some teachers in Thailand as well, and I believe also here in Vietnam, they actually live in rooms. They rent the rooms because they are cheap, and they are not rich. They need to save money, so they live in rooms. Some they pay a little more and they have a studio. Then you have those that pay more, they have apartment, and then you have those that splash out a little. They live in a luxury apartment. When it comes to super luxury apartment, I rarely heard any teacher living in super luxury apartment. That would be very significant. But you have many in Southeast Asia that run companies, director of a company, boss in a company here and there. So foreign companies and they hire. So let's just say, for an example, an American company. I'm not going to name any names. So just like, or an American company, they hire an American to run that company within that country, and they could hire, for example, a super luxury apartment or a villa for their like boss in that country. So that is not unusual. But teachers and stuff like that, they don't live in luxury and super luxury normally. They live cheaper. A few teachers live in luxury, but that, I mean, then they need a very good teaching job. So yeah, that's how it is. There are, I know, people are renting houses because houses have many bedrooms, and they basically rent a house and then they share, maybe 5 6 people share the rent on a house. Some people actually rent a high end or a luxury apartment and they do the same. So they don't live there alone, but they could share like 5 6 teacher no in a house, yes, but in apartments there could be 3 bedrooms, right? You could potentially have 6 people, 2 in each bedroom, or 3 people, 1 in each bedroom, and they share the rent. So that people are doing here, and that is possible. Sadly, I see time and time again that people are moving out. Because these are not friends, they are not girlfriend boyfriend, they are not husband wife, they are just like co-living, renting together to save money because they want to live in a nice place, but they fight, they not agree on things, and so on, and you get some problems, and in the end some have to move out and they need to find a new one. So you have that circle is always going around, and that's how it is. But that is up to each and every one. There are many possibilities in Southeast Asia, many possibilities. And if you ever think about coming to Southeast Asia, Vietnam, Thailand, Philippines, Singapore, or Malaysia, or so on, you need to figure out, how do I want to live? So what is my economy? So that is one. But I would say maybe the most important is, where do I want to live? Am I a city person? Then I need to live in a city. Am I like a farm person? I can live on a farm area. Yeah, then you can go in closer to rural areas, and work in some schools there. You make less money, there are less shops, there are less of everything. Everything is also cheaper, so you need to know that. So you need to figure out where, some people, they are beach people. They need to live by the beach. And then you need to find a beach place. In Vietnam, that would be Vũng Tàu, it would be Nha Trang, it would be Da Nang, it would be Mui Ne, right? So these places you go to, they have the beach and you can live by the beach. So you need to figure out, where can I actually live? Where can I thrive? That is one of the most important things to figure out first. Then you need to figure out, what is my budget? What can I rent? A room, studio, apartment, mid-range apartment, higher end apartment, luxury apartment, super luxury apartment, house, or villa. What can I rent? What can my accommodation be? And how do I want it? How do I want to live? So you need to figure out these things in general. Like, this is something you can figure out in home, in Europe, in America, in Canada, in Australia. You can figure out your economy, and you can figure out if you are a city guy, or a beach guy, or a countryside guy. So these things you figure out long before you think about come to Southeast Asia. And also when you are in, let's say, America, Australia, Europe, you have friends, you have family, you have something to do, a hobby, work, whatever. When you come here, you need to find something to do here as well. You cannot just sit in a pub and drink, and you cannot just lay by the pool all day either. You get a hell of a sunburn, maybe skin cancer, and so on. So you need something to do and something to keep you busy. And you need to figure out what is in that area where I want to live. Can I live does that area have my hobby, and so on. You need to figure out these things. You need to do extensive research before you decide to move to Southeast Asia. And yeah, I think that's about it for this video. And yeah, now you know a little about the different types of accommodation where you can live in Southeast Asia. You have, like I said, we're just going to repeat. So we have room, that is the cheapest. You have studio, that is the second cheapest, right? Then you have apartment. So you have the cheapest one is affordable here in Vietnam. I'm not going to say this is for the rest of Southeast Asia because I don't know how it is in every country, but affordable apartment is the cheapest. Then you have mid-range apartment, a little more expensive. High-end apartment, a little more expensive. And then you have luxury apartments, more expensive. Then you have super luxury apartment, most expensive. Then you have house, and then you have villa. So you have many options for accommodation. Everything depends on your bank account, your wallet, and your needs. What you need. It doesn't matter how your neighbor live or whatever what they do. That's up to them. They have their economy. You need to figure out what is doable for you and your economy. So if you can afford a one-bedroom apartment, that's what you can afford. Don't stress what if the other one have a penthouse, because that's out of your reach if you cannot afford more than one-bedroom apartment. But one-bedroom apartment is fine. That's good enough. If you can afford a room, that's it. That's your limit. Then you can afford a room. But you need to, then you're in the low end, right? So you have little money. You need to be careful with your money. If you don't want some Thai, Vietnamese, Filipino girlfriend, you need to understand that costs money. It's not just going around and, oh, I have a girlfriend. No, a girlfriend costs money. If you cannot afford anything more than a room in Vietnam or in Thailand, that's it, then I would say you probably cannot afford a girlfriend. But that's up to you. So, yeah, you need to think about all these things before you decide to come to Southeast Asia. But yeah, it's a wonderful life. It's a lot to think about, a lot to know about, a lot to learn, and a lot of research that you need to do. And yeah, this will help you a little. This is mainly for foreigners that want to come to Vietnam either as tourists and rent, or stay here for a year or so, or if you want to buy as an expat and stay here for long. Or so yeah, that's mainly. But there are Vietnamese living in other places in Vietnam, and they want to go to the big cities, and it's good for them to know. They probably know much more than me already. So, but either way, if they can get anything out of it, it's I'll be shocked. But it's good. But I don't think I can teach them anything. So this is for foreigners. This video, yes. All the Vietnamese know this. They have full control, but this is for the foreigners thinking of moving to Vietnam. So yeah, that's it for today. Remember to subscribe and like, and see you again next time. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.